Round two. Welcome everybody. I'm flying solo tonight and tech is not my strong suit, so I really apologise for any false starts, things without sound, things without audio. With a fair wind, we're all up and running now. So thank you for telling me, people, that I didn't have my audio on. For those of you who are watching on catch up, you may like to pause the video in a sec and go and get yourself something. Either if you've got a yoga belt, go and get it, or if you've got something that's going to approximate a belt, doesn't have to be flash, something like a dressing gown cord, a tie, a dog lead, very good idea. Anything like that, it's just potentially going to come in useful for you as we progress with the practice. So now I'm going to invite you all just to come to lie on your backs on the mat. Feet in Supta Baddha Konasana, so soles of the feet together, knees bent and just lying flat down on the mat, closing the eyes and starting to tune in. So tonight we're continuing with our journey up through the chakra system, and we've gone from the Manipura chakra, the solar plexus chakra, up to Anahata chakra, which is the heart chakra, so the fourth chakra. Anahata means unstruck or unharmed. The element is air, it's an airy chakra, and it's often represented, say, by the colour green, or in some traditions you may see it as the colour pink. And the general principle of Anahata chakra is working with equilibrium, so balance, radiance, joyfulness, generosity. And what we're going to be looking for tonight is softness, openness, a feeling of expansion, integration and radiance. So obviously the chakras are metaphysical, they're not literal organs of the body, but they are part of the subtle body, and they're a metaphysical concept, and they're broadly thought to correspond the Anahata chakra with the kind of thoracic region of the body. So you've got your bony thoracic cage with your sternum on the one side, your thoracic spine on the other side, and your rib cage, and they correspond with all of those softer organs that fit within and are protected by this bony thoracic cage. Now, Rumi, the Sufi poet, gives us a lovely little poem, and he says, "Your task is not to seek love, but merely to seek to find all of the barriers within yourself that you have built against it." So we're not looking to find love, we're trying to tear down or find any barriers that we may have brought that are stopping us from receiving love. And now, starting to check in, just take a moment to celebrate your breath. The breath is free. Each breath is a gift, and each inhalation is an opportunity to welcome in the now, something new, something fresh. We've never had this inhalation before. And each exhalation is an opportunity to release something, to release the old. So from our very first to our very last breath, our breath defines the length of our lives. And now, just take a minute to set your intention for this class. So it may be something very simple, like I release. It may be something like I'm going to open my heart to love. I'm going to open my heart to expansiveness. Whatever your intention is, Set that intention now and remember to come back to it throughout the practice. And one very important key element that I'd invite you to keep returning to is looking for the softness and expansiveness. So whenever we come to a pose, just check in and find, is there anything I can soften? Right now, is there anything you can soften? And of course, we're going to look for that quality of expansiveness. And now, blinking the eyes open, we're going to start to bring a little bit of movement. So stretching out the legs, we're going to take a full body stretch, arms overhead, and have a really, really good stretch. Some of you will have done a lot of sitting, desks, driving, whatever, and this may be the first chance you've had to really stretch out since you got out of bed this morning. So just be expansive. Expand to fill every space on the mat. Expand through the length of the body. Taking a good lateral stretch, one each side, a good diagonal stretch. And now just hugging both knees into the chest and just have a little rock. Just bringing a little bit of love to the lower back. Maybe circling the knees. Just bringing a little bit of massage. Circling the knees the other way. And now taking the feet as wide as the mat, arms outstretched and expansive. We're just going to windshield wiper the legs. So allowing both knees to drop over to the left, head turns to the right. Inhale, exhale, both knees to the right, head turns to the left. So just carry on working with the breath, working with the inhales and the exhales. And when we work with the breath, when we really tune in and let the breath guide the movement, it's like a moving meditation. So we're then really linking the body, the mind and the breath. And coming now to stillness. And for those of you who have a belt or something approximating a belt, you may like to use it for Supta Padangusthasana, or we can do what we have been doing, which is taking the hand behind the thigh. I have a belt, so I'm choosing to use it. And even if the thing you've got is not very long, you can maybe still use it. But looking for that quality of softness, so not pulling aggressively on the belt or the support, whatever you're doing, but just using it there as a guide. And just pushing the back or pushing the heel, the top of the foot towards the ceiling, and just patiently feel the hamstrings, the back of the legs, just starting to say hello, and maybe start to open up a bit. I've been sat at a desk all day and my hamstrings have been crying out for this, and no doubt some of you will have done something similar. And maybe engaging the quad, lifting the kneecap, pressing the heel away. So there's a strong feeling in the leg, possibly, but check in with the rest of the body. What can you soften? You're engaging the quad, you're pressing the heel away, but doesn't need the jaw to be clenched. Doesn't need the arms to be rigid. So just being aware, checking for that softness. And now allowing the leg to open out to the right. Checking in with the breath. And now drawing back up through centre and allowing that leg to come over to the left. Up to centre, just allow it to straighten out again, stabilise, Just a few little gentle circles of the thigh and the hip socket. Just waking up that hip socket. Circling back the other way. And now changing legs. So hello, hamstrings on the left leg. Maybe pressing the sole of the foot up towards the ceiling, pressing up through the heel, firming the quad, engaging the kneecap. But once again, just checking in for the softness. So we're not aggressively pulling the leg back with the hands. The belt is there kind of as a little bit of support and guidance. So just running a little inventory, releasing anything that needs softening. Oh, just let my shoulders go. What have you got that needs softening? And now allowing that leg to open out to the left. Drawing it through the centre to the right. Back through the centre, just pressing that foot towards the ceiling one last time. And now releasing, setting aside whatever it was that you may have been using to assist you, hugging both knees into the chest. And now, placing both hands behind the thighs, just have a little rock along the length of the spine. And maybe then rocking up into sitting. And then just coming to a comfortable seat. Tall through the spine, and now just starting to bring a little bit of movement to the shoulders, so circling the shoulders forwards up towards the ears and round, nice slow circles. And now circling back the other way. And then from here, placing the left hand out to the left hand side, keeping both sitting bones grounded. Inhale, stretch over to the left. Exhale, and now over to the right. So we're opening the shoulder, but also starting to work into the side body, the ribs, the intercostals. Coordinating the movement with the breath. And returning to look for that softness. And coming to stillness in the centre. Hands to the heart in prayer position. Inhale, exhale, twist to the left. So we're not using the hands for leverage, we're using the side muscles. Inhale back to centre. Inhale to the right. Exhale back to centre. Inhale to the left. Exhale back to centre. Inhale to the right. And paying real attention to keeping the weight evenly in both sitting bones, because it's tempting to allow the sitting bone that you're twisting away from to want to lift up and the whole body come to the side. And release. And this is where you may be glad that you've got the belt, because we're going to come into Gomukhasana arms. So I know you've all been practicing for a long time, but we'll go through it anyway in case there's anybody watching on CapTop that I don't know. So with Gomukhasana, we're going to maybe have the belt or whatever it is slung over our shoulder in case we want it. We're going to inhale the right arm up, exhale it back behind the back so that the elbow comes up past the ear to the side of the head. And the back of the hand is coming down the back, like so. I have my belt there to hand in case I need it. And then left arm comes out, turn the palm to face away from you, bringing that hand round the back, and maybe the fingers will clasp, maybe they won't, in which case the belt is lovely. So whether the fingers are clasping or whether you've got the belt, we're going to draw the left arm. The left arm is going to draw the right arm down, the right arm is going to draw the left arm up, so that you're getting a little bit of stretch in both arms, and just feeling into the shoulders. It's quite an intense stretch. And trying to keep the front ribs quiet, so trying not to flare out the front ribs, trying to keep the spine upright, not leaning back. And breathing into that stretch. And now ask yourself, what can I soften? What's coming to the party that doesn't need to? And release. And changing arms. Now, what I do this side is a little bit peculiar because many years ago I broke the shoulder, so it's all pinned and plated, and it's fabulous, but it doesn't move in quite the same way as the other one. So for all of you with normal arms, inhaling the left arm up and then down behind the back, right arm to the centre, palm facing away from you, drawing it round the back, and then just see what will reach. Once again, maybe the hands will clasp. If not, just taking hold of the belt, the strap, the dog lead. I love that. And breathing into the stretch. So the left arm feels like it's drawing the right arm down, the right arm feels like it's drawing the left arm up. So there's a little bit of engagement between the two arms. Keeping the front ribs quiet so that they're not flaring out, the bottom ribs. And release. And maybe you just want to circle the arms a little bit because it's quite a strong stretch. So just do whatever you need to do to release the arms. And now making your way up into a tabletop position. And we're just going to work into cat-cow. So we're going to inhale. Allow the chest to drop forward and come forward through the arms looking up slightly. So we're opening the chest and having a stretch of the thoracic spine. Exhaling to push the ground away and rounding the top of the back, drawing the belly in, chin comes to chest. And then carry on in your own rhythm, just connecting the inhales with the exhales. And sometimes it can be really nice to change it up. So usually we inhale to draw forward into cow, and then we exhale to round the back into cat. What would it feel like to reverse that pattern? And just checking back in with your intention. Just remembering what your intention for this practice is tonight. Listening to the breath. Welcoming it in. Allowing it to leave. And welcoming the next one in. And now come to stillness. Sitting back on the heels. Just take a minute in child's pose. So we're coming into an extended child's pose. Stretching the arms out. Drawing the bottom back to the heels. And if the forehead doesn't reach the ground, it can be really nice to have something like a block or a brick just to rest the forehead on. And the front of the chest is compressed, so we need to really pay attention to expanding the side and the back ribs. So the back ribs breathe and move in the same way that the front ones do, only it's a little harder because they're connected to the spine. So we have to pay particular attention to trying to breathe all around the thoracic cage. And then from here, just removing anything you may have had your head on. Coming up to kneeling. And we're going to come forward into Anahatasana, or I say melting heart pose. Some people say extended puppy dog pose. But if we say the Sanskrit, then we all know what we're talking about. So the knees are under the hips, thighs are at right angles to the mat, walking the shoulders out. Just allowing the heart to open and melt into the mat. For some of you, this may be a very strong stretch. If it's too strong, back out a little, so that you're still getting a stretch, but it's not excruciating. If it's strong but very bearable, just breathe into that stretch. Feeling the body relax and the heart melting down into the mat. And then from here, just lifting up and then placing both forearms on the ground and allowing the body to come forward, and we're coming into Sphinx pose. So the elbows are under the shoulders, the forearms are out in front, pressing tops of the toenails into the mat, pressing or engaging the quads, pressing the pubic bone into the mat, and then allowing the front of the chest to lengthen and open. Don't crank the neck back, it can be quite hard on the neck. Keeping the neck relaxed and soft, keeping the gaze forward and maybe slightly down. And then feel as though you're drawing the hands and the elbows back. It's more of an energetic feeling and action than really having to draw them back. But It's just a little sense of engagement. And there's a lot going on here. So it's a wonderful opportunity just to check in, that little inventory. What can I soften? Can I combine the quality of softness and expansion with this pose where I'm working quite strongly at the same time? And then from here, just adjusting the hands, bending the knees, and then pressing up and back into downward facing dog. Feeling that length along the spine, the shoulders are hopefully feeling nice and open from what we've been doing. Feel expansion and length. Maybe pedaling out the hamstrings a little bit, pedaling out the feet. Maybe coming into a three-legged dog. Yogi's choice, you're all very creative. I've seen some wonderful variations that you've all come up with. Maybe what you crave is a bit of stillness. And now walking the hands back towards the feet, coming to stand. And now taking the belt, we're going to come into Dvikonasana. So I know you can probably all clasp the hands behind you, but I'm going to invite you to take the belt and have the hands just a little bit wider, because I want you to try both things and see if you can notice the difference. So we'll start off with the hands just clasped behind, standing tall into Tadasana, grounding through the feet, lifting the arms back, so opening the chest, drawing the shoulders back and lifting the hands. And then from here, maybe bending the knees and just folding forwards into Uttanasana. Straightening the knees if that feels okay, or keeping them bent if that feels better. And just allowing the shoulders to keep opening, allowing the arms to draw up overhead as much as they want to. And then inhale, bending the knees a little if it helps the back, using the hands as a lever, coming up to stand. And now we're going to do the same thing with the belt. And we're going to have the hands just a little bit wider, so they're going to be more like this kind of distance. So we're going to, clasping the belt like that, we're going to just draw the shoulders back and the arms up, opening the chest. So we're still getting a lovely opening in the chest, but maybe you can feel just a little bit more ease across the top of the back. Because when we clasp the hands together, it can scrunch the shoulder blades in together towards the spine. And maybe this just brings a little quality of ease. So once again, engaging the, bending the knees a little, if that helps the lower back. We're going to inhale and exhale to fold forward. And once again, allowing the arms to come up overhead. And just checking in. Seeing, does this feel like it brings any more ease? Chest is still open, but there's potentially more expansion at the top of the back chest. Inhale, bending the knees a little, coming up to stand. And then from here, coming to stand at the top of the mat. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, being expansive, sweeping the arms out to the side, folding forward. Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, folding in. Step the right foot back. Lower the knee, untuck the toes. Sweep the arms up. Anjaneyasana. Exhale, hands to the mat to frame the front foot. Stepping the left foot back. Downward facing dog. Inhale, coming forwards into plank. Yogi's choice about how you come down onto the mat. So knees can drop, and you can roll all the way down from the knees. You can draw the bottom back, bend the knees, again knees, chest, chin. Or drop the knees, bend the elbows, lower in one straight line. And maybe you're trying them all out to see which you like best. Or coming into plank, pressing forward, coming forward to lower into Chaturanga Dandasana. Then once you've made the mat, hands come under the shoulders, pressing the toenails into the mat, engaging the quads. Inhale to come up into a little cobra. Exhale to lower, pressing up and back into downward facing dog. Coming high on the balls of the feet, slightly stepping the right foot forward. Drop the left knee, untuck the toes, sweeping the arms up overhead. Anjaneyasana. Exhale, hands down to frame the front foot, stepping the left foot forward. Forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, spine is long. Exhale, folding in. Inhale, sweeping the arms up all the way overhead. Take a little back bend if that feels good. Exhale, hands to the heart in prayer. So, inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, folding forwards. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, folding in. Inhale, step the left foot back. Exhale, lower the knee, untuck the toe. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. Anjaneyasana. Exhale, hands back to frame the front foot. Downward facing dog. Inhale, forward into plank. Take your preferred option to lower all the way to the ground. Inhale, pressing up into cobra. Maybe it's a slightly higher cobra this time. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lightly stepping the left foot forward between the hands. Exhale, dropping the back knee, untuck the toes. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, hands to frame the front foot. Stepping forward, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, folding in. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, hands to the heart in prayer. So we're going to go again. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step the right foot back. And this time we're staying in a high lunge. So we're going to keep the back leg straight, all of the foot on the mat. Inhale, sweeping the, whoops, take a minute to get your balance, sweeping the arms up. And then from here, we're actually going to draw the hands behind us. We won't use the belt, we'll just clasp the hands this time. Drawing the hands back, lifting the chest. So really body. Exhale, hands to the mat, frame the front foot, stepping back, downward facing dog. Inhale, coming forwards to plank. Exhale, lowering to the mat, yogi's choice. Inhale, pressing up into cobra. Exhale, pressing back, downward facing dog. Inhale, stepping the right foot lightly forward between the hands, and then planting the left foot, getting nice and balanced. This challenges my balance. Maybe it challenges yours. Maybe your balance is better than mine. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. High lunge. Hands down through prayer. Clasping the hands at the back. Change the clasp this time so you've got the funky way. So do it so it feels good, and then change it to the opposite. And then stretching that back thigh back. Pressing out through the back heel, lifting the back thigh. Drawing the arms back behind you and up, opening the chest. And release, hands down to frame the front foot, step back foot forward, folding in. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold in. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, hands to the heart in prayer. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale to fold forwards. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold in. Step the left foot back, coming up into a high lunge. So sweeping the arms up, and then drawing the hands through the heart to prayer, and taking a twist so that the left arm comes to the outside of the right leg, and we're just taking a little twist, back to centre, hands to frame the front foot, stepping back, downward facing dog. Inhale, coming forward into plank, exhale, lowering to the mat. Inhale, rising into cobra. Exhale, pressing up and back, downward facing dog. Step the left foot forward, coming up into high lunge. Inhale, hands into high lunge, get the balance. Exhale, hands to the heart in prayer. And this time taking a twist to the left. So top of right arm comes to left thigh. Hands still in prayer. Keeping that back thigh lifted. Looking for the softness. Exhale, returning to the front. And stepping the back foot forward. Folding in. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold in. Sweep the arms up overhead. Hands to the heart in prayer. And now, making your way onto the mat to take up a seated position. And you might want to have your belt handy. So we're going to start off, we're going to do just a few little twists because they're lovely for releasing. They help to lengthen and release. So we're going to come into Ardha Matsyasana, half Lord of the Fishes. So left foot comes underneath, left heel to the bum, right foot on top, right leg comes over left knee and out to the front. So we're going to inhale, the arms up overhead. Exhale, twisting now to the right. Left hand can come around the knee. Right arm is behind you. Fingers pressing into the mat to help the spine press up and stay long. Or maybe the left arm wants to come to the upper arm to the outside of the right thigh. In either case, just inhaling to grow tall. Exhale. exhaling to see if the body wants to release a little more. Inhale, arms up, returning to centre, changing legs. So right heel is by the left buttock, left foot is in front, foot's flat on the floor. Inhale to reach up, exhale to twist. Yogi's choice, which version you take with the right arm. But in either case, using the breath to lengthen, using the inhale to lengthen, exhale to see if you want to twist a little deeper. But ask yourself, where's that quality of ease? Where's the softness? Something has to work hard, but the rest doesn't. Where's that softness? Inhale, stretch the arms up, returning to centre. And now stretching both legs out in front and drawing the left foot in towards the thigh, so the heel's directly in front of your sitting bone, your hip bone, or sitting bone really is the best description. It's about a fist's width between your left foot and your right thigh, and this is where you may find it nice to have your belt or whatever represents your belt. And then from here, I'm going to invite you to be a bit clever with the belt. So you're going to have to bring the belt so that it comes, so that your left arm's going to come to the front like this, belt comes behind you, and then the right arm is going to come behind you. So we're going to inhale and turning the body to the right, but the left arm is coming round the left shin, and the right arm is coming behind you, looking to hold hands with that left hand. In my body, there's probably 6 to 8 inches between them, and so the belt is lovely. It allows me to take this twist, even though I can't take the bind. This is a strong stretch, checking in with the breath. And then release, keeping the legs where they are. You can put the belt, draw the belt over to the right hand side. And this time we're going to inhale the right arm up, taking the left hand behind us, and we're going to take a twist over to the left. So the right arm comes to the outer edge of the left knee, or you can hug the left knee. So we did an open twist, and now we're doing a closed twist. Inhale, releasing back to centre, and now changing legs. So this time right foot draws in. Just taking a minute to get set up, making sure you're grounded on both sitting bones. It helps if you're not particularly open in the hips, it helps to have a bit of height to sit on. Once again, shuffling your belt around. So it's going to need to come behind you there, and it's quite good to kind of grab hold of it with both hands if you like to start off with, so that you can get hold of it. So the right arm comes round the right shin, and hand points towards the back, and then we're twisting in an open twist towards the left hand comes behind the back, and walking those hands down that belt towards one another. Some of you may be very open and you may find it very easy just to clasp your hands. But for me, as I say, there's probably about a 6-inch gap, and I'm fine with that. And release, keeping the legs where they are. Inhale the arms up overhead, and now exhale to twist to the right, so we're taking a closed twist. Maybe you need to lean back, get your belly out the way a bit, if you're like me. And left arm can come around the left knee, right hand is behind you, pressing so that the spine is coming upright. Or maybe the right elbow wants to come, the left elbow wants to come to the outside of the right knee. Inhale, lifting the arms, turning back to centre, stretching both legs out, and just give the legs a little bounce. And then from here, allowing the legs to come wide, and then just allowing the hands to walk forwards, and we're just going to take a gentle forward fold. It's fine for the spine to come into flexion. We're just looking for a soft forward fold, starting to draw in. Just returning to your intention. Just calling it back to mind. Just walking the hands back up and making your way onto the mat, onto your back, just for a final twist. So stretching the arms out, T-shape, we'll take a double leg twist. So inhaling, lifting the shins so they're parallel with the ground. Actually, no, let's reverse that. Shift the hips a little bit over to the left, and then lift the shins so they're parallel to the ground. Exhale, both knees over to the left. And if it's okay in the neck, turning the head to look to the right. Left, I mean, over the left shoulder. Inhale, drawing both knees back up to centre, just adjusting the hips, so this time they shift a little bit to the right. Knees come back up, shins parallel to the ground. Exhale, both knees over to the left, head turns to look over the right shoulder, if that doesn't upset your neck. Inhale, back to centre, and then placing both feet on the ground, using the hands to help you just come up into a comfortable seat. And we're just going to do a little tiny round of Nadi Shodhana, which is a pranayama technique for balancing the nadis. So it's alternate nostril breathing. So we're going to place the index and middle finger on about the centre of the eyebrows, the third eye centre, and then the ring finger, the little finger comes over the ring finger, if that works for you, or they can stay parallel. And we're going to, as we do the breathing, the thumb is going to just lightly close the right nostril. It's very subtle and it's just around and about the level of the septum. And then when we want to close the left nostril, the ring finger is going to press in to close the nostril just around the level of the septum, and the thumb opens. It's a really subtle movement. It should be gentle and it should be subtle. Now, full disclosure, this particular breath doesn't always suit me because I get a lot of sinus problems, and sometimes one or the other side of my nose will totally block up and it becomes impossible to breathe comfortably in that pattern. So something that I learned, which was a revelation to me, is you can actually do this practice metaphorically. So if the breath's not flowing easily through both nostrils, you can visualize breathing into the left, up through the center, out through the right, back up through the right, up through the center, out through the left. So if doing it mechanically doesn't work for you, you can still get a fabulous result doing it with a visualization. So we're just going to take 5 rounds, and a round is inhaling with the left, closing that nostril, exhaling with the right, inhaling with the right, closing that nostril, exhaling with the left. That's 1 round. So we're just going to take 5 rounds and do it in your own time, but that is the pattern that you're going to be following. So I'll just start you off. So placing the index and middle finger at the third eye centre. The thumb is lightly closing the right nostril. Inhale through the left nostril. Index finger closes that nostril lightly. Right thumb releases. Exhale through the right nostril. Inhale through the right nostril. Close that nostril. Release to the left. Exhale through the left. Inhale through the left. Closing the nostril. Exhaling through the right. Inhaling through the right. Closing the nostril. Exhaling through the left. Inhale through the left. Close the nostril. Exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. Close the nostril. Exhale through the left. Inhale through the left. Close the nostril. Exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. Close the nostril. Exhale through the left. Inhale through the left. Close the nostril. Exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. Close the nostril. Exhale through the left. And now just release, take a few recovery breaths and get everything you need ready to be warm and cozy, and make your way onto your mat for Shavasana. Closing the eyes, tucking the shoulder blades under, allowing the hands to come out to the sides of the body, leaving a bit of space to breathe. Just allowing the legs to be slightly apart, just allowing the ankles to flop out to the sides. and just letting go. So starting from the top of the head, looking for the softness, letting go, being soft, releasing, expanding. For those of you who want and can stay in Shavasana, please do so. For everyone else, it's time to start to bring some gentle movements back into the body, allowing the breath to deepen, wiggling the fingers, wiggling the toes. And now, using the hands to help you, making your way onto your side in the fetal position for a few more minutes of precious rest. And from here, pressing your way up into a comfortable seat, keeping the eyes closed, hands to the heart in prayer position. And just check back in with your intention and bring to mind that feeling of softness, of openness, of integration and radiance. Bowing the head now in gratitude to yourself for allowing yourself this precious time. Namaste. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining me. And may you go forth radiant and open and have a wonderful evening or day.